Bring in back in Austin, Oscar Silva. He's the political director for Battleground Texas. Remember them? They're the organization that's working to turn Texas blue. Oscar, thank you so much for joining us. You and your group were in the headlines majorly during 2008, 2012. This desire to bring in more minority voices to the political dialogue. What do you see this year regarding the race between Sanders and Hillary Clinton in the state?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Tamron, so much. That is a very good question for Texas. As you know, we have so many Latinos that are coming into the fold, and with the energy that's going around the primary, we're really engaging a lot of Latinos and young voters through voter registration, but they're going a step further, and they're being interested in volunteering and becoming messengers in their own communities. You can see a lot of Latinos and young voters getting engaged and talking to their neighbors. So you have neighbors talking to neighbors, you have community members talking to community members, and Texans talking to Texas about voting and about being engaged.
We've seen the past, of course, since your organization started. I see you have your I voted early. How is it different this time around when you have a Republican frontrunner who drew a huge crowd in Fort Worth, Texas, whose support or call for banning all Muslims, whose support of mass deportation is very much supported by the numbers in the GOP party here? How has that caused, I guess, an energy boost, if it has, amongst Hispanic Democrats in the state?
I mean, along with the Christie endorsement, this is just another messaging that the Republican Party as a whole has this anti-immigrant rhetoric. And Latinos are coming out because of this. They're folks that have never voted before and have never been engaged before are wanting to have the conversations that matter. And they're looking at Austin, they're looking at Washington, D.C., and seeing that they're not being represented. Their personal story is not reflected. Their values are not being represented. And the issues that they care for are not being talked about in that party. So you see a Democratic Party who's offering candidates who are doing this, and they're wanting to support them.
And so looking down, you may not be able to turn Texas blue, and that's just putting it mildly, this election cycle, but do you believe that there are young Hispanic voices in this state that might resonate in other key pockets where the vote certainly could be a deciding factor?
Absolutely, absolutely. Texas is a long-term project, and so we are building the branch as we go. We're not only building better volunteers, but we're also building future elected officials or people who run for office, Latinos, women, young folks. And we are also seeing a lot of talent going across the country from Texas. And so we are going to continue playing this major role in organizing our communities, training that way. And Latinos are going to be increasingly playing a role in making Texas a more competitive state.
Oscar, thank you for sticking around. We had a lot of breaking news and about